Hey, y'all, welcome back to Who Knows Best, the podcast where we talk about the wonderful world of Scentsy Consulting and share the secrets and the secrets thriving to this amazing business. Sorry, forgot to move my mic. I am Cassie Bollinger,
I'm Jacqui Duran.
and today we're going to get into the topic that touches every single part of your daily life in your social media in your business. It's all about mindset because your mindset shapes how you approach successes, challenges, and everything in between. So, we're going to share some tips on cultivating a positive and resilient mindset and how to stay focused both offline and on. So, one of the biggest things that I had to deal with as working in retail. So, most of you may understand if maybe your first couple jobs was like fast food or restaurants or even the lovely call center. There is a mentality that when something starts to go wrong, that it spreads. Like it's either the little gossipers that are going through and to being like, oh, did you hear what so and so got a raise and we didn't get a raise? And all of a sudden everybody starts to be like, well, if I didn't get a raise, why am I working? And then you get this whole mindset of, well, it's not fair and I'm not going to do anything. And that's how mindset starts is that you start seeing what everybody else does and then it starts to seep into your outlook of life or your job or maybe the small task that everybody's like, "Oh, well that's a trash job to do." Like, I don't do that. That's for newbies or that's for the bottom of the totem pole. And you feel like there's this dread of doing it. I've had to work in a lot of environments that had very toxic managers. And I never realized what a toxic manager was until I got into the corporate world and basically decided to save myself and my mental health and leave. And it's hard because that person who is toxic that's telling you you're not good enough, you're not fast enough, you're not doing this good enough, you're not doing as many calls. This was a call center. You're not taking as many calls as so and so, or you need to do less time on your calls. Because I was actually the top number of calls, but they said I spent too much time on them. So how does that make sense? I'm on the phone the most answering calls, but I'm on them too long now. But I'm still taking more calls than everybody else. So there should have been a little ding ding. There's something wrong there. But mindset is something you can choose. So it's just like if you see some people gossiping about, like, oh my gosh, do you see what that person over there is wearing? You don't have to chime in. You can mind your own, you can stay in your lane, and you can move past it so you don't get drawn into it. You don't get swept up in that, like, oh yeah, that's right. And then you start, then it's like, oh, well, then you hear about so and so, and then, oh, did you hear about so and so? And then it starts to get, it's just, it eats at you. And this also works for online. This is not just in your personal life or if you're having another job online. If you always look for the negative things in your life, negative, we're talking like my life sucks, everything's horrible, and you start dumping it on everybody on social media, people will stop following you. People will also unfriend you. And that's, I mean, because negativity breeds negativity. And a lot of people, like, I will unfollow them. I may still be friends with them on Facebook, but I will unfollow them or snooze them for at least 30 days to see if it changes because I can't talk to someone when everything's always rainpour. Like, it is just a torrential downpour all the time because I get it. I get depressed. I get upset. Life sucks sometimes, but we can't sit in it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go like that was like my little story. I mean, so Jacqui, like what is your I don't know, like where do you stand? Like what kind of mindset do you do? Do you do any kind of like mantra or is it more just music? Like what do you do to get into a good mindset?
I would say mine is kind of the same, especially because of social media, because social media is so prevalent, right? Whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, YouTube, like all the things, we've got it everywhere. It's everywhere. And as much as we'd like to all try and ignore it, we can't ignore it. But I think for me, the negativity is one big thing, right? Like that, I completely agree. I do the same thing. I will unfollow. I can't. If it's going to be something that's either going to make me feel bad every time I see something, then I'm like, okay, then you're not bringing me anything, so I have to disengage. So I have to disengage. But one of my biggest things when it comes to mindset is the comparison game because I totally fall into the comparison
Oh,
game.
so do I.
Oh, it's so bad.
It's
It's so
easy
bad.
because it's like numbers, right? It's like, oh, your numbers are here, my numbers are here. What am I doing wrong? Or what are you doing? Why are you better than me?
Yes.
It's very easy when, especially
Yeah.
when it's numbers, like if it's sales or if it's friends or followers, like
Mhm.
looking at that way. Because I remember when I started and I
Yeah.
wanted to get followers, and I was like, Jacqui, you have like 20 million. And I was like, I got five. She goes, I had to start with five. I had to start with one.
It's so true because you can see the people who have that bigger influence or whatever, right, with the followers. But it's also like I follow a lot of superstar directors because, like I want that's my goals, right? So I try and keep my mindset on that's where I want to be, that's where I want to focus. And it can be really hard because I see a lot of our superstar directors who do amazing things, but I also find myself like, oh, well, that's the happy mail they're sending out. Well, obviously, I need to do that kind of. So I
When
find
they've been in
myself,
like
yeah,
19 years and they're selling like 20,000 a month, and
yes,
also, oh,
yeah,
income disclosure here. But then you're like, oh, why can't I send a goodie bag looking like now? I
right,
will compare my goodie bags to yours because, but I stopped doing it for everybody.
yeah.
Like I stopped comparing. But yeah, the comparison game can get you in trouble
Oh,
because
so easy.
that it's very easy to be like, oh, I am no longer like I
Right,
can't do it. I'm just going to stop because I will never compete. I'll never
right.
compete.
Yeah, like my stuff doesn't look as good as their stuff. And look at their tags and look at the bags they're using and look at
And the
the,
confetti. Look at all the
yeah,
confetti
look at
they
all the
have.
things. And it's so easy. And I would find myself like, I mean, I'm horrible at Amazon anyway, right? I have a horrible habit with Amazon, but I would find myself like sitting there on Amazon going, okay, well, I need those exact bags, and then I need to get those labels because I'm going to create those labels, and then I need to make these molds, and then I need to do this, and then I need to do that. And I was like spending all this money, and I was like, at the end of the day, my customers do
Care.
not care.
I don't
They
care.
do not care. Why am I caring so much? Why am I so obsessed with trying to keep up with the Joneses over here
Yeah.
when my customers just want to smell it? Like they could care less if it's a felt sample or a
A rub and
beautiful
sniff
mold.
sticker. Like who
Right. Like
cares?
they don't care. So it definitely takes a lot of willpower, even to this day, because I'll even get on TikTok and I'll be like, oh, that's so cool. Dang it, I could do that. Okay. And then and then I'm like, nope, 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 Jacqui, back it out, back it out, back it out. I'm not doing this today. So it's a constant thing. It's a constant thing.
Well, and I feel like I have to like it's not even instinctual. Like I have to make myself in the morning before I go to bed and in the mornings, I tell myself how amazing tomorrow's going to be. And I'm like, tomorrow's going to be amazing. I'm going to get the things on my list accomplished, or I'm going to get these things done. And then in the morning when I wake up and I don't want to get out of bed, I'm like, oh, I'll just sit
Hmm.
here. I'll scroll through Facebook. Let me check on my notifications. Oh, let me go to TikTok. And then I get stuck in, and I'm like, I have to tell myself in the morning, I get 5 minutes to clear off notifications all the way through my phone. And then 5 minutes, I'm done. And
I
especially
love
with
it.
school starting.
Yes.
And then I'm like, I'm walking to the bathroom because the first thing you really got to do in the morning is you got to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, going, today's going to
Mhm.
be a good day. Today's going to be a good day. And then I dance it and I sing it. But sometimes I don't dance a lot if I really have to pee. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I have to get that vibe going just to get through and
Yes.
not get back into bed because
Yeah.
I haven't really had to go anywhere in the last month. I mean,
Mm.
July and in the first part of August, I didn't have to leave the house unless I had something predestined to do because, I'm not, school hadn't been started and I was no
Yeah.
longer working at the college, and I've been doing my Scentsy and I can do it from bed. But then the bed's really comfortable and I'm really
It
tired.
will
And then
take
that
you
nap.
hostage. Yes.
But it is a whole thing that like even like I did a couple of different reels and some shorts about going to my first in-person party. Now, I have never done the in-home party for Scentsy. I have done it with a previous direct sales. I did a jewelry and I had like four parties in the 3 years I was there. Four parties because nobody else wanted to do parties with me.
Yeah.
And that was really my mindset. Nobody's going to do parties. When I started 2020, nobody was doing parties. So it wasn't an option. But when I made my outlook of like August is going to be my month, I am kicking off the transition month to go into fall because I want to go to Greece. And I'll tell you, when you have the sheer determination to get somewhere, you will find the path.
Mhm.
You will break it down however your mind does it. But it's hard. It's hard to stick with that because the minute one thing goes wrong, you're back to, I knew I couldn't do it.
Yep.
And I have to catch myself and be like, I couldn't do it right now, but I can do it tomorrow. Or I need to take a break. Like I have to talk. I talk to myself all day long.
Yep.
It's an empty house now. So I talk to me and the cats and I tell the cats what my plan is because I need somebody to listen.
I will tell you, I've got two post-its on my bathroom mirror. So every day, because even on the days that I'm not working, so I mean, I may leave the house, go to the grocery store, run errands, whatever, right? But I'm not working, right? So I'm like not quote unquote leaving the house. So, but even on those days, I will force myself to get up, wash my face, put on my face, and at least put on some clothes, right? Because if not, then yeah, I will hibernate in the bed. I just will. So I know I at least have to do step one. If I do step one, at least I'll be up and I'll be a human. And yeah, I may not get all the things done, but at least I'll be up and refreshed, ready for the day. So that's one thing I have to do. So the bathroom and standing in front of the bathroom mirror, I have two sticky notes, and one says, I will be superstar director, and the other one says, just keep swimming. And so
Yes.
every single morning, I'm looking at just keep swimming. I will be a superstar director. Those are my two personal goals because the IQ, just keep swimming is obviously just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Just keep doing it. So that helps me in my weight loss life that I'm trying to, be better and do all the things and be amazing, but also in my business, right? So I have to, it kind of works both ways for me. So I just have to just keep putting in the work, be consistent, do all the things. Today may be great and I may accomplish a whole hell of a lot. And tomorrow I may not accomplish but like one thing. But that's okay, right? That's okay. Because at least I'm up and I'm trying and I'm working towards an end goal.
Well, and for me, I have the ADHD. So I have to have timelines and deadlines because I'm also a procrastinator because I'm ADHD. It's nothing is important until it's due right now.
Yes.
So like today, I've been very busy since this morning. And on my way home, I called Jacqui and I was like, what are we gonna talk about tonight? Because it was just gonna be the two of us. And like I'm like, you know what? Mindset. Because I I made my schedule for these classes back in April. So
Mhm.
April Cassie is different than August Cassie.
Yeah.
April Cassie was like, woo, we gonna get all these classes done. I'm just gonna load everything in there. It doesn't matter that three of these classes have labs and that one of the classes is a speech class. We got it. We're just gonna get them all fit in these days. The rest of them are online. No big deal.
Yep.
August Cassie is like, am I am taking a programming class. So
Yes.
programming class, I don't really know like how to program at all. And the
Yeah.
prerequisite class I took in 2005. So I'm like second guessing myself. No, I have been taking computer classes. I know how to work a computer. I know how to do some of the cybersecurity stuff that I'm doing. I
Yes.
know how to do that. And I'm second guessing an intro programming class. Like it's not it's not going to be easy, but it's not going to be difficult. There's going to be a way that I will be able to work through this. Like I know I can, but I'm learning something new. So what happens when my mind, if I don't catch on to it instantaneously, I want to quit because, oh, I suck at that. It's just, that's my
Yes.
instant thing. And I have to remember now that I'm an adult and adulting, we can't just quit things we don't want to do.
Right.
Because if I quit cleaning altogether, we'll live with spiders and bugs and stuff. Like if I quit washing my clothes because I don't want to do them, then I'm going to be having to smell every single thing I put on to be like, can I spray more perfume? Like I know you just can't quit things. And
No.
I got scared today walking in because the classroom number I put on there was his office number, not the classroom number. So I was really
Oh.
worried I was going to be late. And of course, I was still early, but on time is late. Anyways, that's my whole mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And I did get there, and then he was late. So then I didn't feel very bad, but then I was upset. Like, why can't you show up to class on time? Like, we're like 4 doors down from your office. I know where it's at. I found it. I think it's not, but it's something you have to consciously do until it becomes
Yes.
a habit.
Yeah.
And you're still gonna slide. This is not like do this and everything's fixed because something will happen. I mean, I my life is not perfect,
Right.
but I'm perfectly happy with my life. So,
Yeah.
like
I love that.
I do I want to own my own house? Yes. Absolutely. That is a process we are going through. But I'm perfectly happy with where we're at to save money
Mm-hmm.
until we have enough that we can combine to buy a house.
Mm-hmm.
My car is paid off. I am secure with my car paid off. It still has full coverage because if something happens, I don't have the money to dump into a new car. But
Right.
like, there's small things, but my life isn't perfect, but I am perfectly happy with where I'm at. And I love myself. I love my husband. I love my kids. Like I am okay with things. I'm okay
I
with my
love
business.
that.
Now, this is the highlight because, everything is going the way it's supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
But people have, oh my gosh, it's called RES. So Mel Robbins talks about RES. And basically,
Okay.
if I told you right now, okay, so Jacqui, I want you to close your eyes.
Okay.
All right. And when you open it, I want you to look for something blue. Okay. So go ahead, open your eyes. Can you find something blue?
Yes.
Okay. Is there like, do you start seeing a whole bunch of different blue things everywhere?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
is it
Yeah.
because you told yourself you need to look for blue?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we did the same thing and I said, look for red, you would start looking for red.
Yes.
So what
Yes.
you look for is what you focus. Like our minds, like
Uh-huh.
your eyes focus on what you're looking at. Just like a camera auto focuses on you when you're doing when you're taking a picture of something, it auto focuses with what's in front of it. So with your mindset, if you are set to look for all the negativity, your mind is telling you, let's look for the negativity. Oh my gosh. My daughter had to be delayed being moved in. That could have been catastrophic. I mean, like,
Right.
what do we do? We're just going to quit, come home. That wasn't an option. She needed to be on campus. School was the next day. We had to learn to figure out something. So it's like looking for the little spots that you can.
Yeah.
We had a flood in our house not long ago. I was like, what am I going to do? And then it's like, first, we got to clean up. We got to see what we can salvage, what we can't, what is really gone and what is not gone.
Mm-hmm.
Because luckily we have tile. It wasn't like we had to put floors, but it's what you focus on. So if you start saying, I'm the luckiest person in the world, everything comes to me. And you start telling yourself, and that's what you start looking for, you'll start seeing, oh my gosh, I was lucky I found a penny yesterday. And it was heads up. Like the penny heads up, penny's head up. Yeah, I can't remember how else.
Yes.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, so when you start looking for that, you'll find it more often because you're geared to focus on those things. So I have to focus on the good things. Like I got up and I put clothes on. I got
Yes.
out of my pajamas and I have to put shoes on to be productive in my house. I can't wear my slippers. My slippers is I'm walking to the bathroom and I'm coming back because we have all tile. I'm walking to the bathroom, I'm coming back and getting back in bed. That's so I have to put my slip on shoes. So there's no difference besides there's a heel between my slip on hey dude and my slippers. But my mind tells me if I'm putting my shoes on, it's work time. Either going out of the house, going to my office, cleaning the kitchen, laundry. I have to, like, that's kind of one of those triggers. And I found it. I was like, oh, if I put my shoes on, I'm productive.
Yeah.
I don't get back in bed.
Yeah.
I don't cozy back in. I
Yeah.
don't get situated in a good spot to be like, oh, this is real, and go back to sleep. Like, that's how it happens. I'm sitting up in bed, I'm texting, and I'm like, oh, hold on, I gotta readjust. And I'm like, okay, hold on, I'm gonna lean over this way. And I'm like, oh, you know what? Like, let me readjust. I don't want to have to hold my head up and then like, hold on. And you start sliding down, and all of a sudden, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, all of a
Yep.
sudden, it's like, let me pull the covers up just a little bit. Like, my arms are a little cold, and then it's get cozy. TV's kind of going, and it's just like lulling in the background, and it's just,
Yep.
yeah,
And that's it.
it's, yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm all about taking breaks and taking a pause and resetting your mind, but
Yeah.
it's very easy. It's
I
very
agree.
easy
I'm
to,
all about having the day off, and like I really have to, because I find myself, I don't know if I have ADHD. I know I'm OCD. I know I've got tons of anxiety. I've got anxiety for everybody to spare. But one of my things is like getting myself to actually like stop, because even on those days where I'm like, okay, I don't have to go into work today. The house is clean. All my, all the little stuff around the house is done that I wanted to get done. Maybe I'm all caught up in my business stuff. Like, that's great. Awesome. And I'll just sit there and be like, okay, this is a really good day for a mental break. So I'm going to unplug. I'm going to turn off the notifications on my phone. I'm not even going to look at my iPad or anything. I literally just need a mental break. I need to unplug, and I just need to take some time, because I am always going. And even on those days, I will find myself, I might get lost, because one of my favorite shows is like Schitt's Creek. I've watched Schitt's Creek, I don't even know how many times. I will rewatch it and rewatch it and rewatch it. But it'll be one of those things that I'll just turn on, that I'm like, okay, I can kind of zone out to this. I know all the jokes. I can recite it word by word. And it's very comforting to me. But even then, I'll be like, well, maybe I should go ahead and check my email. Okay. And then I check an email, and then I'm like, oh, well, look, oh, there's something I should probably send out to the team. So now I'm doing this, and now I'm doing that. And oh, well, the laundry was caught up, but I could probably go ahead and throw the dog blanket from the couch in the washer. So I have to remind myself, no, there's times when I have to stop and just take that mental time. And then there's times when I'm like, no, I'll just go, 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 go till it's all done. And it's kind of a balancing act, because I tend to be hyper focused on being productive. And even Justin, he'll come home and he'll be like, just sit down. And I'm like, yeah, but there's stuff still to do. He's like, I don't care. It'll still be there tomorrow.
do you want
Just
to
sit
know why
down.
we do that?
Why?
I found a TikToker, and I
Oh
wish I
gosh.
could tell you who it is. So I'm watching her, and she's like, do you have this mentality that you can never just relax, right?
Ah,
As a kid, did your parents tell you that you had to get all your chores done and clean up everything before you could go play? And now we have the anxiety as adults. There's always something to do, because even if you thought you were done, your parents are like, well, they go back through the list. They check you off of like, did you clean the bathroom? But like, did you clean it? Did you wipe everything down? Did you, we still had shag carpet forever. Vacuum. Did you
yeah.
wipe everything down? Did you do this? Oh, now in your room, did you vacuum?
Right.
So there was a long list of things before we were allowed to go play. And so the anxiety is that we're about to go play, but now we have to, are they going to let us go? Like, can we go outside? We can't go outside till all of our chores are done, but maybe I don't remember what all the chores they said they had to do, because, I'm, like 10 and I don't remember anything. And so that is something, like, we're part of that generation that everything had to be done,
Yeah.
done. Like, it wasn't like almost done. You couldn't do it later. It had to be done before we could leave. So that is what our mentality as adults now is, that we're not allowed to stop and play
Yeah.
until everything's done, because that's how we were trained.
Yeah.
And that goes like the whole mindset thing. It is something that you can do, you can train, you can learn how to do, and switch that off. And for you, it may almost be like a meditation, and you're going to have to time it. You're going to
I
have to do a
do. I
timing
do.
meditation.
I
because for
do
you, you
meditations,
can't
yes.
stop.
Yeah.
And like I have to say, if I'm going to watch another episode of I'm in Bones now, I like yeah, I
That's a
went
good
back to
one
another. I
too.
was going to try the one that I think the one that you suggested, and I turned it on, and it was too slow
Oh,
to
Veep.
beep. Yeah, it was too slow to get started, and because I was like, huh, like, is it supposed to be funny? Like, I never looked it up. I've never seen it. Like, I didn't even know what it was, so I just pulled it up and found it. But I was like, okay, I got to research this before. Like, I always have to know like
Yeah.
who and what stuff is. But I was like, I'm just gonna start watching Bones. But I have to tell myself that I have to complete like 4 or 5 tasks before I can watch the episode
Yes. Yes.
because I can't just sit and watch TV.
I
Because I
know.
will sit and watch TV all day, but I can't just be in that moment.
Yep. Because then I feel guilty, and then I'm like, well,
I feel
all the
guilty.
things
Like,
that I
yes.
could be doing, and yeah, yeah,
And I will tell you this since my, now, granted, my daughter only moved out Sunday. Today is Tuesday. It's
I
only
know.
been like she came back yesterday. Today, she was like, can you bring me the stuff? And I'm like, she sends me emails now, and I have to print off her English, like her English syllabus. I'm gonna have to get her a printer. And then she's like, I don't have a screwdriver for to put together my laundry thing. And then she also had a math calculator that she needed. I mean, the TI calculators back in the day were like $200. Now this one was $14 on Amazon. So I was like, what? And she's like, can you bring it to me? And I was like, Amber, I have a podcast tonight. I just got home from school. I got homework. I got to situate stuff. So she called Blake. Blake was supposed to cook dinner tonight because it's Tuesday night. Tuesday night, Blake takes care of food. So I can prep in here. I eat. He puts everything up, like he does that in there. And then after I'm done, I go back in and figure out what else needs to be put away, put up,
Yeah.
wiped down. And he was gone, but there's no one else in the house. So I'm not having to like worry about anybody else. And then I was like, you know what? I can't really focus right now because I'm hungry and I'm not going to wait for him to get back to feed me. So
Hmm.
I went ahead and cooked dinner. It took him like almost 40 minutes to get there and back because it's rush hour traffic when he left.
Oh my
Oh, he left at
gosh.
5:30. And he already went to the grocery store for me
Right.
because he had to go get food for tonight. And so he was gone, and I went ahead and made dinner, and I was just in there by myself because there's no one else asking me questions. I didn't realize that my mind goes crazy when I get asked 15,000 questions about something because no one wants to look for it.
Yeah.
Like, where, how many eggs do we have? I don't know. Did you ask me earlier and I forgot to look? Like, or like, do we have another thing of bread in the freezer? So I have to think about that. Like, when was the last time I opened the freezer? What did I actually look at the bread? Did I see the bread? Did I
Right.
touch the bread?
Right. Right.
That takes up a lot of mental capacity for me.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
didn't have that today. I went to school. It was a really great day because I whole way to school. It's gonna be a great day. Like I sing songs to myself. And then I get in the car, I called you, we figured out what we were going to talk
Yep.
about. And I was like, I'm definitely talking about mindset. But I got home and I was like, you know what? I went ahead and did it. That way it was done. I got to
Love it.
eat because by the time he got home, it would have been 20 minutes and it would have taken a
Yeah.
little bit longer to brown that meat. And I'm
Yeah.
like, it's already done. All you got to do is eat your food. I got to go in the office. Bye bye now.
Oh my goodness.
But it is, again, there's mindsets all the way around for
Yes.
online, offline. Like, don't be bitching about stuff online. Don't complain or do it in a way that's funny. I don't know how to like say that. Like, don't complain about how your life sucks horribly all the time and then expect people to want to buy from you. I guess we'll talk about Scentsy, like buy from you.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I would never buy anybody like makeup from somebody if they were constantly like, oh my God, I hate cleaning my face. I don't want to do this. Like everything, it takes forever. Shipping takes forever. Like, oh my gosh, it's so expensive for this and that. Like, don't bitch about and complain about things and then wonder why other people bitch and complain.
Well, and it's the whole capacity of like, oh, I have to wake up at 6 and like tomorrow, right? Like Madison has school tomorrow, right? So, oh gosh, okay. I had to set my alarm. I got to make sure she gets up at 6 o'clock. I'm already dealing with a puppy. We're going through the puppy phase, right? So, all right, I'm very little sleep. I know I got to get up at 6. I don't work until 4 in the afternoon tomorrow, but I have to wake up at 6. All I have to. And it's
But
literally changing that to I get to, right?
yeah,
I
What are you doing
get
for
to.
Madison?
Well, I mean, making sure she gets out the freaking door on
Oh,
time.
yeah. So,
Real,
hey, at
right?
least, she's going to school. I mean,
Yes, right?
because she's
Yeah,
high school,
she gets
right?
to go to school. I get to set an alarm because we have electricity, right? We paid that
Yeah.
bill. Okay, look, we get to put her on the bus. She gets to go to school and she is in her clothes that we were able to buy her for the school year, right? Okay, she gets to do that. I don't have to go to work until 4. I have the ability to still have my day until I have to go into work for the night, right?
And
So
if you had
I
to,
get
you could
to.
even take a
I get
nap
to.
because there's no one
Yeah.
home.
It's right. So it's just that little change. And so with that change, a lot of it for me with when it comes to my business too is, yeah, I don't have to be, oh, I have to be at work at 4. It's not I have to be at work at 4. I get to go to work at 4. So that means, oh, hey, I wanted
Because
to
you
send
wanted
out
this job.
an email. Yeah, I wanted to be able to have the flexibility of 3 12-hour shifts a week so I
Yeah.
could have more time for my business and my family and all the other crap that I want to get done, right? So I get to. I get
Yeah.
to do that. So I get to have that opportunity. So it's just tweaking that one little I have to I get to. And then it's like, oh, well, that does seem better. That seems a lot better because even like 6 months ago at my old job, right? It was, oh, yeah, I'd have to get up and get Madison up at 6. And then I've got a brand new puppy. And then I have to be at work at 8. And so, like, it was a whole thing just to get out the door. And
Yeah.
now it's a lot easier. But yeah,
Well, and
just
that little
tweaking.
part, it's with the mindset of trying to look for positivity, it's also being
Hmm.
grateful. Like you said, it's being
Yes.
grateful for what you have. I could
Yes.
complain because I am so busy this month with all these parties and I'm so
Yes.
busy. Like I could sit there and complain, but I need to be grateful because I set up my path. I decided what I was going to do this month. Now,
Yes.
it could have fallen short because I could have stopped at any point in time and just be like, I'm not going to do it. Like I seriously had that little thought in my mind right before I left for the home party that it was going to be horrible and that I was going to
Yeah.
I shouldn't even go
Yeah.
because she'd already said that over half the people canceled.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, guys, the party itself at the people at the party was 600. Everybody else that ordered online it was total of like over $800. Like she almost wanted to wait a little bit to do the 1,000, but everybody was waiting for us to close the order. So she's like, nope, we're closing. And she was like, dead set, noon, we're closing it. They didn't order, then they'll just have to do their own party. And I was like,
Yeah.
cool, got it. But I stopped myself because I sat there and I wanted a home party. I wanted that opportunity and
I
I
know.
have it. I might have been overwhelmed, but then that's why I broke it down. I only took one bag. If it didn't fit in the bag, it wasn't going. So then I had to prioritize what can fit in the bag to take with me to put on this little. She had a table set up for me. I had to take my tablecloth. So, like, I had my
Oh,
list. What can I take in one bag to make this easy for me and not overwhelm me? And I didn't have to have a script.
right.
I literally talked to them and looked at the items on there and I picked up the item and I was just like, okay, this is hand soap. And I
Yes.
talked about it. I would set it down and I would look at the next thing or I could see the group. Like, this is all the body line. And
Mm-hmm.
there wasn't a script because I've had a couple of people ask, like, well, what exactly did you say? I don't remember. I don't remember. I said my name.
Yeah.
I said how long I've been with Scentsy. They asked questions. I responded. I
Yes.
tried to be cool, calm, and collective. Like I didn't tell her till 2 days later. That was my first ever in-home party, and she's like, "Are you serious?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Well, you didn't show it," and I was like, "Awesome." I was scared inside. I was sweating in places I didn't want to admit it. I felt my face turning bright red, but I put enough makeup on to cover it. Like I set myself up
Yeah.
for success. Even when I doubted myself, I told myself it's only one bag. I only got to carry in
That's
one bag.
right.
Like when I get there, it won't take me long to set up. Then I thought she was further away. So one of the towns she's in is 20-25 minutes away. But there's also this rural country area that kind of like does this weird zigzag through. I'm kind of like, I'm kind of in the country, but not. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm city country folk. Like, there's a Walmart not far, but I'm in a town that doesn't have a Walmart. I'm in a town that only has two gas stations, but everything's just 10 minutes away. And we got a lot of country between here and another major highway. And she was back there. And so when I looked it up, it was only 11 minutes. I was going to leave at
Oh my
5
gosh.
to be in Burleson at like by 6 so I could set up at 6 because the party was at 6:30. And then I was like, well, hell, I don't have to leave till 5:40. And I did a video right before I walked out being like, be an amazing party. I'm gonna have so many orders that I can't keep up. And I tell you what, talk about manifesting like what was going to happen. I had multiple people that were like, "Hey, can I get a sheet so I can start writing my stuff down on my order forms?" And like, and I was like, but I told myself, focus on this one here. Tell
Mm-hmm.
them, go ahead and get started. We'll go over it in a minute so I can focus here. I still left stuff off. I
Mm-hmm.
still forgot to make sure they needed like cotton cleanups but I did get light bulbs because I talked about everybody was like light bulbs. There's not we have colored light bulbs. Oh yeah, it was great. Like
Sure do.
it was it's hard. I mean, like there are things you want to talk about. I never talked about booking another party with this group because or even talk about the opportunity because it went so well with everything else. I got swept away. It
Mm-hmm.
really it was very it flowed. She had food. I was starving, but I didn't really want to eat and be like shoving my
Yeah.
face and trying to take orders. So I take the little stuff here and I took a little bit of drink because I'd already drank mine and
Yep.
but it could have been horribly worse.
Right.
It could have been, I mean, but it couldn't have been more amazing. She invited
Yeah.
15, three of her friends showed up. There was four of them there. It was an amazing party because she thought I was the expert. She thought this was something I did all the time. She did not hesitate because she wanted to get me to Greece. She told everybody there, I only booked this party because I haven't bought Scentsy in 10 years and I bought a diffuser from her last year at an event. And I was just trying to help her get to Greece. If y'all bought anything cool, she wasn't expecting anything big either. She's like,
Yeah.
oh, I got two orders. I said, yeah, you're like almost to your 200. And she's like, oh, okay. Because she was like, I'm sorry it wasn't 1,000. And I'm like, I'm not.
Yes.
It's
Because
okay.
you get to have the opportunity to have the home party.
Yeah.
Get that opportunity.
Yeah. It was because, and she said yes. Guys, I
Yeah.
would have never picked her to say yes.
Yeah.
So that mindset of in the beginning of August, when I messaged every one of my customers, I told myself that I wasn't going to stop until I wanted 10 yeses. And at 10 no's, I was going to take a break and then do again because I wanted to kind of gauge it. Well, I never got the 10 yeses, but I sure as hell never got the 10 no's.
Oh,
So I will say I got ghosted, but I consider a ghost not a no because
yes.
they could have been. One of them was on a trip. They did message me back later. They just got back from doing a cruise before school started. And she's like, I just paid for the cruise, but I'd like to do a party in October. And I'm like, oh, let me see what, like
Yes.
that wasn't a no. She was unavailable. So,
Yes.
but yeah, mindsets can change it. And it's
Yeah.
hard. I mean, I'm going to say the four of us, when we talk, there are times that we start sitting and wallowing in that.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
okay to be there, but we just can't stay there.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, let's get it all out. I mean, when
Right.
you have besties that you can sit there and say how shitty your day was and how horrible everything was, and then they're like, all right, I totally understand. I'm so sorry. What are you gonna do now? Like,
Right.
what's
Right.
next? What are we gonna do? Like, what do we
And
need to
you
do?
have to have those people in your life because if you don't, then what? I mean, what do you got? Then you're gonna, yeah, you're just gonna continue to wallow. I
Yeah, are
mean,
you
you're
gonna have
never
the
gonna
people
get
that
out of
keep
it.
throwing water on you and let you sink in that
Yes.
fucking mug? Oh, I
Yes.
guess
Yes.
there's explicitives here. Sorry, guys. I will put a disclaimer on here. This is an 18 and up only. Sorry about the bombs. Things because I have
Speaking
my
of
mind.
disclaimer, okay, so I'm wearing my Beetlejuice sweatshirt tonight.
Oh yeah.
So let's
Do we
talk
say
about
it three
mindset.
times?
Yeah,
Do we say it
Beetlejuice,
three
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. So
times?
speaking of a mindset, right? For us in the Scentsy world, a lot of us, including myself, right? We were really expecting a Beetlejuice launch to happen.
Yes.
What on the 20th,
19th. Yesterday.
19th, on the 19th? Yeah,
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah. I forgot to
So
change my event.
yeah, and it didn't happen,
Yes.
right? Things happen. The world happens.
Yeah.
So for whatever reason, Sensei's like, hold up, we got to put the brakes on. We're not ready.
Yes.
So we don't really know what the reason was, but I'm going to assume it's shipping or something, whatever,
Yep.
right? It's not ready.
Quality control something.
And I will tell you, I got on so many pages and I saw so many people complaining.
Mhm.
They were straight up pissed off,
Yeah.
mad.
Mhm.
I don't understand. Why can't they? Okay, here's the thing. For
They
one,
weren't, they must not have been around during 2020.
right,
How many
right, there's
times
that.
did we have where our warmer of the month was
Shipping
still,
containers were delayed.
they,
They were like still
everybody
on
was,
the ocean.
yeah, it was literally in on the ocean at the ports. They
Yes.
couldn't get them done. And we were like, let's go to another product. Like that's,
Yeah.
you have to pivot. Like mindset
Yeah.
and pivot is like really, you start getting a dead
Because
wall, move to the other one.
exactly, because here's the thing. Before what, last month, we didn't even know we had a license to be able to do Beetlejuice or anything else like that,
Yep.
right? Like we have the opportunity. Yes, it's coming. Yes, it got delayed. Does it suck? Maybe. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't really know if it sucks. I mean, it's still coming. It's fine. But like you said, we have to pivot. We have to make changes. And we're not any different than any other business.
Right.
We're not different than any of those big box stores or
Yeah,
whatever.
when they
Like,
run out of items like school supplies, they're delayed, they don't get
right,
there, they're sold out.
right.
There's times that we sell out of things and sometimes they'll bring it back for pre-orders. So they
Hmm.
still out, they're like, we'll get another shipment,
Yeah,
but we need to know how many to order. And then people complain about that too.
yeah.
I mean, I
And
will say that
I saw so many complaints of people going, "Well, here goes my whole month." I'm like, "Okay, first of all,
it's a
were you
limited time
just
offer.
yeah, it was an LTO to begin with. Second of all, that's how you planned your month was around one thing. Like, we have so many other products. We have so many other things that are for sale.
And
Why
everything's
is this the
10%,
make or break
almost
it?
everything's 10%
Yeah,
off. So like this month, it's like, okay, we don't have the license item right now, but we have a discount. We have,
yeah,
there's stuff leaving. So snag what you can,
yeah.
or at least wait. But like, do you ever have anybody complain about $10 shipping?
From time to time, yeah.
Okay. But do you, I mean, like,
But
I,
I don't
I
put
will
any stock
occasionally
in
get
it.
someone be like, oh my gosh, it's $10. And I'm like, yeah, or you can come pick it up for me and I'll put it in my bulk order.
Yeah,
But other than that, like,
exactly.
I have to pay 10.
Yeah.
I don't feel $10, I don't feel is a lot. Now, if they're buying like a set of bolts, I could
Yeah.
see why they'd be like, oh,
Right.
that's kind of expensive.
Yeah.
But my customers buy, one or two warmers or a 6 pack of
Hmm.
wax and a warmer. I mean, occasionally I have someone who has like I guess maybe a $20 order. And yeah, it's $10, but I don't make it a big deal
I
anymore.
don't
I
either.
did.
Yeah.
I did back whenever in the beginning when I started because that's what I was told. Oh my gosh, it was a percentage of shipping and they've changed it. It's a flat fee.
Yeah.
Like no matter if you order a lot or little, it's $10.
Or if you start a Scentsy club, you can get for a flat fee of only $8 shipping.
20% off. Yes. And so, it's like it depends on how you look at things, but your
Mhm.
customers, your friends, your anybody you talk to about your business will feed off of you. If you
Yes.
instantly start to say, oh, yeah, it's $10 and none of my customers want to buy it for 10, like they don't want to pay $10 shipping. Oh my gosh, that warmer is licensed and it's so expensive. And oh my gosh, I'm like, I always stop and I'm like, excuse me, because I'll pull up similar items, not like a warmer, but it'll be something else from that company. So, because we have so many different licensing companies.
Yes.
And I'm like, they're selling a blanket over here that's like $120 because I don't know, Mickey Mouse rolled around in it. I have no idea. But you're complaining about a warmer that has a lifetime warranty on it that is designed by Disney. Like it's not, we don't just come up with ideas and slap their name on it. Like it's
Right.
designed by them and we like make sure it comes like fruition. Like if it's not right, they will be like, we got to come back to the drawing board.
Yep.
There are so many things. I mean, I look through TikTok and I'll tell you what, there is people selling things
Hmm.
that I'm not going to go into detail, but there's a lot of things we can complain about. But honestly, I guess you can just say it's in the eye of the beholder. If you think it's too
Yes.
expensive, that's fine. We always have stuff for every budget. We have stuff on discount. We have stuff on sale. But it's like, I don't ever balk at the prices. I don't ever say anything about like, I know this is a little expensive. I'm all like, oh my gosh, this is the deal we had because
Yeah.
it's my mindset. This is
Right.
a deal. It is a Scentsy warmer with brands of XYZ, whichever one it is. And we get it. We know about it early. We know the price. Let's get, like, if you really want to do this, then, we can add this to a party. So at least you can get rewards
Yes.
on other things later. Like, there's always a way to look at it of a one and
Exactly.
done. I mean, I don't look at my customers getting one order.
Right.
Every time I have a customer, I know I'm going to make sure that they know about the deals. If they're always worried about prices because they're on a budget, but people buy what they want to buy. There's
Yeah.
people asking for GoFundMe's that get their nails done and their hair done. And I'm like, I don't get my nails and my hair done. This is a $25 haircut, guys. Like, I don't get my nails done. And I can't really, like, I
Yep.
can't complain about the things that I only talk about the things I can control. Like, I can only do what I can
Yes.
control. My
Yes.
hair, I had to go this short because I really have too many cowlicks. I couldn't go longer anymore because I look like alfalfa in 9 different ways. Like, I literally had a crown of stuff in my hair going back there. So when I went shorter, everything worked. Like, it just flows. So
Yeah.
you just have to look for it. Like, you can find a niche in anywhere.
Yes. I
So
agree.
look for the positivity.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's,
Surround yourself with it, because don't
yes,
surround yourself with the negativity, because you'll get swept right in.
yeah,
Right.
yep. You do not want to be around people that complain about everything
Nope.
and then discourage you for doing anything that is good for you. Because that right there is also one of those things when you get the snake in the field, like, the snake's not going to change their
Right.
skin. They're still
Right.
a snake. They may be nice, but
Yeah.
they're still a snake. And you
Yeah.
don't want to have that in around you. And they always say that if you're the smartest person in your group, you need to find a new group
Yep.
because you need to, like, we don't just talk to the four of us and that's it. Like, we
Right.
all talk to other people. We all collab with different other people. We have other conversations and then we bring back what we learned to the four of us. Like, we are constantly looking for new ways, new ideas, and the connections that Jacqui has is different than the connections that I have. And the connections
Mhm.
that Lisa has is different from I mean, like, Lisa's got like a front row seat to home office. Like, I
Oh,
love
she
it.
does too.
She will be like, hold on, let me send an email because she has been doing it long enough that she's always wanted to check. Like, compliance is a big deal. And she always makes sure of the stuff that she posts, because she does sample posts for consultants, that it's in compliance. It's
Hmm.
because her and I are real big. I'm not saying that you and Robin aren't, but like, we're real big
Right.
on rules. And it's like, if there's a gray area, on the first, like, compliance, just ask them, email them. They're like your best. They will be your best friend.
They
I mean,
will.
they're Lisa's best friend.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
all know her. They come at events and they know her by her. Hey, Lisa. Yeah, they've all talked to her a million times, especially back in
Hmm.
COVID. But you surround yourself with positive people, and it's hard. It's hard when you've had friends that you've had for a while and realize that they're not looking out for you
Right. They don't have your best interests at heart.
because I'm no longer competitive with my friends. I used to be.
Yeah.
Like, growing up, it was always about who was better. And it was that whole comparison. Like, well, if she got that kind of car, then I'm going to get this kind of car. And I'm going to get a color that she wanted that she couldn't get. It was like that competitive
Right.
thing of like who had it better. As an adult now, I'm all like, I don't care. You got the car of your dreams. Woohoo! Let's party. Like, are you driving?
Yeah.
Like, where are we going? And it's, and I used to say this all the time, but we have to start supporting, especially, I feel like women need to support women. And I feel
Mhm.
like we need to we've had this mentality for the longest time that we're not good enough. We're easier to manipulate on
Yes.
what our worth is than
Hmm.
men are, because I feel men are inherently cocky. Like, they're
Yeah.
inherently, they doesn't matter what size they get, they strut it, because as a man, you can
Yes.
be a little bit overweight and they're like, oh, he's just big boned. He's barrel
Yeah.
chested.
Right.
Like, look at him strut his stuff. And their clothes
Right.
fit different. For us, we're supposed to be this shapy, curvy thing. And,
Yep.
we get down on ourselves. But, it's like, don't knock people down, straighten their crown.
Yeah.
Like, women should be picking women up. And, like, I
Yeah.
cheer for anybody. You tell me
Yeah.
that, hey, I booked a party. I'm like, woohoo. And I get excited because, like, I'm so awesome. What did you do? Like, What'd you say? How, like, give me your inside because maybe that'll help me too.
I agree. I agree. Because and that's one of my favorite things too, is even just watching my team members, my downline, like they'll, get a new team member, they'll get a reinstatement, or they'll book that party, or they'll make that sale. And and rather than, oh man, I wish I had gotten that sale, or oh gosh, she got a $200 order today. I wish I okay, hello. I'm more excited than
Yeah.
they are 9 times out of 10. I'm like, oh my gosh. And they're like,
Well,
yeah, but I didn't really do anything. Yeah, you did. That's
yeah.
a big thing.
Well, and because I think we've been around long, like, I'm in my year, I guess technically my year 5 because 2020, this is my year 5 because I will be walking next year for my 5 year. Um, I've been around a little bit longer than some of the newers.
Mhm.
And I've stuck around longer because there's a lot of
Yes.
people that started in 2020. When I walked the stage for a lot of things that were from the people from 2020, it was a massive amount. A lot of them have fallen off because this is, again, this job is not easy, but it's not hard. It's all about what you want to put into it.
Yeah.
And as we kind of finish up this hour, you just want to remember that if you can or if you can't, you are correct. And if you get to that mindset that you always can't, nothing's ever going to change.
Right.
So you want to make sure that you find gratitude. If you can't be positive about what's going on, be grateful or thankful for what you have right now and work on it from there. Build from the bottom up. Once you start being grateful for who you are, what you have, and the abundance you really do have, you can start to grow. And then find yourself a bestie that will also cheer you on your darkest days, or at least let you cry on their shoulder, because we've all done it many times that we were devastated. And then the next day we're like, I needed to be able to say it out loud. I'm good
Yes.
now. Let's kill it. So that's what we got today. So today was all about mindset. This was just about changing your focus. And it's called RES. I wish I could tell you what was broken down. Mel Robbins, Jenny Porter talk about it as well. RES, just find something that you can focus on and make sure that it's positivity. Don't focus on the negative, because I promise you, nobody around you wants to hear about a negative Nelly.
Yeah.
Guys, I am Cassie Bollinger.
I'm Jacqui Duran.
And this is Who Knows Best. We will be back next week. We are going to be starting in September. So we have a couple more weeks and we're going to be bringing on guest speakers, or just guests, not really speaker, first thing, whatever. We're going to roll with that.
Yeah.
But check us next week. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to wherever platform you found us on. You can find us on social media. We are all on TikTok. We are on YouTube. We are on Facebook, Instagram. I'm not on X, but I think you're on X. Aren't you on
I'm on
X?
X, I'm on Threads, I'm on Pinterest,
Threads.
I'm on all the
Okay.
things.
All the things. So you know what? You can search for us, find us. Let us know what you think. If you have a topic for us that you are really wanting to know, or how we maneuver through it, or what we can do, we will talk a whole hour about it and help you out, because that's what we're here for. And if no one's told you today, we love you. You are important. You are worthy, and you are strong. You can do this, and we'll be right there cheering you on. We'll see you guys next week.